Good afternoon, I'm Malcolm Jordan and this is your Midday News Fix for Wednesday, the 3rd of April. Police continue to hunt for 3 people after a woman was forced into a vehicle in Auckland's Beach Haven. The 3 arrived at a Sunny Haven Avenue house just before 7:30pm. There was an altercation and the woman at the house was forced into a vehicle. A gunshot was heard, prompting calls to police. The woman was later found in Greenhithe with injuries, but not from the firearm. Herald reporter Rachel Mayer has been speaking to neighbours at Sunny Haven Avenue.
One neighbour told me the gunshot was ear-splitting and nothing like she'd ever heard before.
The government's moving to address nationwide teacher shortfalls by granting secondary teachers a new fast track to residency. Political editor Jason Walls has more.
Education Minister Erica Stanford says a lack of teachers in specific subject areas such as science, technology and maths are presenting ongoing challenges for schools across the country. So she's putting all secondary teachers currently on the green list work to residency pathway onto the straight to residency pathway. Stanford says this will provide certainty and a more streamlined process.
5 people have been arrested, 6 vehicles impounded and more than 200 fines issued after a street racing event in Auckland over Easter. Hundreds of vehicles took part in the illegal event from Saturday night through to the early hours of Easter Sunday. Police were stationed at hotspots all across the city to disrupt large groups, dangerous driving and burnouts. More than 1,700 breath tests were carried out and 11 people were over the limit. 3 men are due at the North Shore District Court after failing to stop when seen driving at speed and running a red light in Albany. The death toll of aid workers in Gaza since October is nearing 200, with the latest Israeli air strike adding 7 more. 3 vehicles carrying workers were hit in separate strikes that Israel claims were unintentional. Outrage and disbelief is resounding around governments and aid agencies all over the world. Former British Ambassador Richard Makepeace told the BBC there have been multiple attacks that look to be directly targeted at aid convoys in clearly identified humanitarian locations.
There is really absolutely no excuse for what's becoming not just a war on Gaza, but a war on humanity.
The economic stress is being felt unevenly across the country as people deal with the effects of a recession. The latest Westpac report states there's been continued pressure on living costs and growing concern about the labour market. It's found those factors have contributed to a downturn in retail spending in every region. Westpac senior economist Satish Ranchod says there are particularly soft conditions in areas like Northland and Southland.
Well, we're also dealing with dry conditions affecting the agricultural sector, and I think there's some big concerns about Wellington, where we're starting to see public sector job losses.
To sport, Hurricanes halfback Cam Roygaard's out of rugby for around 6 months after a confirmed rupture of his left patella tendon in the Super Rugby win over the Highlanders. He had surgery in Auckland yesterday. All-white Chris Wood has scored in the 19th minute of Nottingham Forest's 3-1 Premier League football win over Fulham. I'm Malcolm Jordan. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5pm from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.